New this morning, an initiative that just passed the Washington state legislature will restore law enforcement's power to chase after drivers when there's reasonable suspicion that a person violated the law.
Fox News' Connor McCarthy joins us live this morning to tell us more about the initiative and why legislators decided to give this power back to police. Good morning.
Kim and Bonnie, good morning. Yeah, Initiative 2113 it passed both the House and Senate in Olympia with bipartisan support. Now, it was just 3 years ago when Washington state lawmakers raised the threshold when law enforcement could legally pursue someone they believe is possibly connected to a crime. Now, but with the law being blamed for an increase in crime like car thefts and also a deadly shooting in Clark County of a deputy, the law is now being rolled back. Now, the amendment to the law states that a law enforcement officer may pursue a suspect if there is a reasonable suspicion that the suspect violated the law. The pursuit must also be necessary to apprehend the suspect and keep the public safe. There is also a requirement that the pursuing officer must immediately notify a supervisor, and there must be supervisory oversight of the pursuit. The original law, House Bill 1054, passed in 2021, limited law enforcement's ability to pursue suspects only if there was a reasonable suspicion that the suspect committed a violent offense. Senator Linda Wilson represents Clark County, and she read aloud a statement from the widow of Jeremy Brown. She believes that the House Bill 1054 contributed to her husband's death.
On the day that Jeremy's murders, the suspects were believed to be transporting a large cache of stolen guns and ammunition with intent to sell. They were being surveilled by an undercover unit, but unfortunately, probable cause for arrest had not been established under the new laws.
But those who oppose the initiative say that it will lead to dangerous, high-speed chases leading to a public safety risk. The House Bill 1054 was a balance that was needed. Now, what makes this amendment interesting in Washington state is that it's an initiative, so that means the voters gathered signatures to bring it before the state legislature, and this does not need the governor's signature. So with the passing of both the House and the Senate, the law will go into effect within 90 days as of today. For now, reporting live, Connor McCarthy, Good Day, Oregon.